Good morning, it's Tuesday the 23rd of April 2019. Welcome to the Chapel Hill Marina and this morning's United Kingdom talk coming to you from Lincolnshire, boys and girls. Welcome along to our little... Oh, did you see the phone number come up then? That was exciting. I might even open the phone lines today. Oh, I just don't care this morning. Well, good morning to you, boys and girls. Now, I'm afraid... Last night I didn't wear a jacket to work, which means I've still only got the blue jacket up here at the moment in Lincolnshire. So once again you'll be seeing, very unprofessional dear, very unprofessional. So once again you'll be seeing this this old thing all week long. Do you want a little bit more volume? I'm going to give myself a little bit more volume, okay? All right, just a little touch more. I notice my yellow light isn't flashing. The green one is, but the yellow one isn't. It has to flash green and yellow. So there we are. Also, for those of you technically minded, I bought up my 3 mobile telephone company, 3 4G router, the home 4G router today. So I'm trying that out, which actually seems a lot faster than tethering via the phone. So the way you're watching the show there today is microphones, mixer, a couple of old computers, a few lights in front of me, wirelessly connecting to the 4G router and then wirelessly connecting to the phone mast and out to you. All right, so that's how that's working this morning. I've noticed in these petrol prices, are they going up like 1 or 2 pence every blooming week at the moment? We're at 1.24 now. Well, at least the Sainsbury's in Bracknell was 1.24. A lot dearer, of course, on the A roads and in particularly on the motorway. I saw petrol last Thursday when I was coming back down to Berkshire from Lincolnshire on Thursday night. I saw petrol, I kid you not, for £1.45 a litre. Yes, £1.45, not diesel, petrol, £1.45 a litre on that ghastly BP garage near London on the M1. I'm not quite sure what it's called now. I think it was the M1. I'm sure it was the M1. Did I come across or did I go... Yes, I come across. It was on the M1. I'm sure it was. £1.45 a litre every week. And I was just watching BBC's Business Live this morning, and they were saying that oil prices are surging at the moment. I think they said something that they've gone up $80 or whatever since the beginning of the year. So that's bad news, isn't it? You know, where are these electric cars? I can't see. I've got nowhere to charge an electric car. I couldn't have one if I wanted one, unfortunately. Bad news about my wages this week. Now, I told you, didn't I? They're going to start paying me at work by bank transfer. And that started this week. Was the money in there? No, not there. Not there. So I'm sure it'll be sorted out. But I said to the boss last night, not the owner, but the manager last night, the money's not gone in. He said, well, we reminded them twice to do it. And I knew this would happen. The last thing I want to do is do a job and then have to run around. Oh, have you done this? Have you done this? You know, it's so much easier with cash. It is easier with cash. You know, you come to the end of the night, there's your wages, thank you very much, goodbye. You know, all this piss-arsing about with computers, tap, 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 tap. Oh, yeah, well, it's not there. Oh, well, I don't know why. Yeah, it's going to be that, isn't it? It's going to be that. Someone's mucked up somewhere. So I thought it might be something to do with the bank holiday. But last night I checked around about 2 in the morning when I got up here got up a not bad journey at all last night, coming from London to Lincolnshire, 2.5 hours. Yes, mainly because the A1 was open. There's a lot of work being done on the A1M. Sorry, the A1M at the moment. They're widening it and in place. And it'd be fantastic when it's done, but it doesn't get finished until December 2020. So they close long sections of it to do the work. And when they close that, it can put anything between 20 minutes and half an hour onto my journey. I might have to come up to the side of it. There we are. Has that worked? Sorry, I don't know what happened there. I don't know. Do you know? I don't know if it's the I don't know if it's a connection or the computer. Really, we had that last week. Anyway, we're back there. Sorry about that. You lost us for a moment. Then I might have appeared in a different frame now. I suppose on the Facebook thing. Sorry, you might have lost us there. That looks like it's working there. All right. Are we back now? I think we're back now. Now, of course, I've completely forgotten what I was talking. What was I just talking about? I can't remember what I was just talking about. Perhaps I should do a little test broadcast to myself before I start the program to see if it's stable. Yeah, I'm really not sure if it's the computer sometimes or the other thing. Is that working now? Let's have a look. Let me just see. I'll be able to check on here. Is that there? There we are. We are there, aren't we? Yep. Okay, I can see myself there. Transmission resumed. Thank you, Mike. What was I just talking about then? Anyone remember? Yeah, the journey up here. That was it. We're talking about the journey up here. And you kind of have to go all around the houses, and it does take so much longer. With the A1M, when it's open, you come just straight through North London from Islington. It's just like straight all the way through. Ever so easy. There was a nasty accident last night on the way up here. On the other side of the road, I was about 45 minutes, I suppose, an hour before I got... Actually, I think it must be this computer giving that a problem. It's got to be that, because it doesn't happen at home. Yes, on the other side of the road, I saw, loads and loads of... There were fire engines, there were police cars, there was a couple of ambulances, and not only that, the helicopter was there. What's it called? The hospital helicopter thing was there as well. We're talking here about 1 o'clock in the morning, because I just stopped off at a garage. I was really, really peckish last night, so I bought myself a bag of crisps on the way up here. And there were hundreds of them, like, not hundreds, but, a decent amount. And they'd closed the entire road much further up. As you went further up, there was like another couple of police cars there. Further up, another couple of police cars there. So it must have been a really serious accident last night. And I popped into this garage. And I said, what's happened over the road? He said, oh, yeah, that was about 10 o'clock. So that would have been 10, 11, 12. So it's now 1 o'clock. They'd be working 3 hours on whatever had gone on there. And he said, yeah, I think someone died in the accident. So, rest in peace. Don't know what happened there. But terrible, really, when you see accidents like that, isn't it? So that was my journey up here. My back's a little bit better, thanks to, probably, Maureen bringing in this last night. She brought me in Fenbid gel. Fenbid gel, which contains, what's it say on here? I've got my glass. No, of course not. Oh, glasses are here. Makes a change for them to be here, doesn't it? Just a minute. Let's have a look. Where are we now? Ibuprofen. It's got ibuprofen in it, so that works there. Okay, that seems to be working there. And I put some of that on my back last night while I was at work. It's not instant. It takes about 20 minutes or half an hour to sort itself out. And then I found myself able to move a bit better. Now, I'm not quite right. I'm not able to stand up straight at the moment without pain, but not too much pain now. So that's coming along. Another couple of days, my back will be all right. I'll be very pleased about that. So thank you very much, Maureen. She obviously saw the show yesterday and went out and got me some of that ibuprofen stuff. I'm not a pill taker. That's the trouble, I think. There's so many people, oh, have you had any pills? No, I haven't had any pills. Oh, well, you should. No, I don't want any. Well, you should. No, I don't want any. And they go on and on, don't they? Don't want any pills. Thank you very much. So many people. But I don't mind rubbing something like a gel or a sort of cream into the infected area and getting on like that. So that was at the karaoke. Quiet karaoke last night. We weren't busy at all. In fact, the whole weekend hasn't been particularly busy at the pub. The Friday, the Saturday, or I think Sunday was busy because they had a special event on there, a drag idol, that was it. And Monday was, it was quiet in there last night. Two reasons for that probably. Euston Station still closed. That'll be open now. They were doing a lot of, track work or station work, of course, while the holiday was on. And also, of course, the Easter Bank holiday, an awful lot of people go away. So what we had in last night, we actually had 17 singers last night. But in the pub, that's all you had, the singers. There were like no non-karaoke type customers. And it was the same on Friday. There were no non-karaoke type customers. I mean, the people that come straight from work, of course, they wouldn't have worked on Good Friday. So you have to think of these things when you have a quiet night like that. It was lovely to see Non-Irish Mary from Ireland, who sang 2 songs last night. Brighter, always look on the brighter side of life. Ba-da, 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 ba-da. And that wonderful song with so much singing and words in it, Tequila. Ba-ba, 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 ba. Well, it goes on for about 10 minutes, and then Tequila. There's just one word. So nice one, excellent for Mary to be singing last night as well. Let's say hello to some of you this morning. Good morning to Will Peters, who gets the first message there on Facebook Live. Good morning, Michael. Will. Morning, Will. Welcome to the show. Michael Lawrence is there. Morning, Michael. As is Mike Reese Ponto. Happy day to you, sir. Ray Reynolds is in the house. Diane Jebb, good morning to you. Adrian Richardson, hello, sir. Cake World. Good morning, Cake World. That's good, isn't it? Cake World. Good morning to Juan, who's wishing us the warmest of greetings post-Easter 2019. Good morning to you, Juan. Ray Reynolds. Oh, you're talking to each other there. There we go. You remembered your mini mic. Yes, I'm pleased I did, actually. And then I had to search around for a battery. Of course, there were no batteries anywhere. Couldn't find a battery. And then there was one that was on top of the little unit thing in the bedroom. So I don't know if that's a fresh one or a half dead one. I mean, we could lose sound before the end of the day. A lot of people would like us to lose sound when I'm using the microphone, singing a song at the karaoke, but there we are. So good morning to you, Ray. Thank you for noticing that. Morning to Michael Pohlman, who's to be congratulated. I was just spotted some of your posts on Facebook earlier, Michael. He's got some sort of diploma or something looking after animals. I'm sure you'll tell us on here what exactly it was, but he's now going to look after animals and help sick and ill animals. So good on you. Well done. Congratulations for that, Michael. I did notice that. Good morning to JP, who had an earthquake. There was an earthquake where JP was. Good morning, and survived. He didn't fall down one of those nasty old holes that you have in earthquakes. Morning to you. Let's have a look. Mike Transmission. Yes, thank you very much. Have I said hello to Diane Jebb? Good morning, Diane. And you, Todd. You're new. Good morning, you, Todd. Welcome to the show. Catherine Louise. A very good morning to Catherine Louise in Algeria. Claire is in the house. Lovely to see Claire there last night. Good morning, Claire. Singing 3 songs last night, didn't you? And you disappeared. You do that, Claire. You suddenly just disappear. Where's Claire? Oh, she's gone. Oh, how do you do that? You just suddenly disappear in a puff of smoke and no one ever sees you leave. That's the strange thing about it. Morning, Claire. Hello to Martin Edwards. Paul Mosley is there. Morning to Paul. YouTube problems? No, the computer stopped for some reason. I had to restart. I've found that a quick way of doing that. I literally stop the stream, close the program, open the program, start the stream, and it starts working. So I think it's this computer. It is a little bit old, this one. It's only a laptop that I'm using on the side there, so perhaps I could. I could swap it onto the other one, but I don't know what do you call it? What sort of spec this old? I don't know. I don't think that would do it. It's a very low spec, that one on there. Juan just attempted to call me. Did you really? How? On what? I haven't put a phone number up there yet. I haven't put a phone number up there yet, Juan. Claire says, how kind of Maureen. Yes, it was kind of a... that's my nephew, Gary Butler. No, I'm just bent altogether, to be honest, nephew Gary, as you well know. I find it very easy to sit down. Sitting down and doing nothing is when the back is hurting at its least. Sitting down and doing nothing. I think I caught that off your mum, actually. Your mum sits down and does nothing a lot of the time, doesn't she? Eh? I think I'm going to the garden centre with her a little bit later on. I've got some great big pots, because here where I have my caravan here, I don't have a garden. A lot of the pictures here have gardens. I don't have a garden, but I've got a little area where there's paving stones. Now I could take up the paving stones and put down grass, or, which is what I'm going to do, I managed to get hold of some big pots, a lot from my sister's house, a couple from my house, and my mate's given me some big pots, so they're all out the side there, but of course I've got to fill them with earth. So we might need a man with muscles. Is that you, Gary, to carry bags of earth for me later on? My sister's got these great big like plastic bucket things that last year she grew potatoes in, and I'd like to do that. I've done it before. I've grown potatoes before in the garden with some success, actually, not bad at all. The trouble is, my garden in Berkshire, where the house is, it's not south facing. I don't have a south facing garden, so I only get the sun in that garden 3 to 4 hours a day, which isn't enough for most plants. Here in the caravan, I face south. You know, the sun comes up in the morning, sets in the evening, and I have it the whole day at the back. So I reckon anything growing there will be very successful. And I like to do some in the big pots: potatoes, tomatoes, and peppers. All things that I'll use. Pointless growing stuff that you don't use, really. I mean, when I was a kid, I was about 13 or 14, and I used to grow. I didn't like tomatoes then, and where we lived in Roehampton, we had a balcony, and the whole length of the balcony was pots with tomato plants. Very, very successful as well. Because again, there, I think, if I'm right in saying, the balcony used to pick up a lot of sunlight there, and we had loads of tomatoes, loads of them. Not so successful in my garden at the house in Bracknell. One year they got blight, which is where you start getting dark brown marks on the tomatoes, and very quickly the whole crop gets covered in these dark brown, and then you've got to chuck the whole lot away. I mean, one year I had so many tomatoes, like 2 bucketfuls of them, and I had to chuck away 95, 98% of them. Literally, I was left with a handful of them because they all got this blight. And then I found out, and then I tried the next year, the same thing happened. And I looked it up on the Google and found out that once you've had blight on anything in the garden, you can't grow that same thing or anything related to it in that same area for 3 to 4 years, because whatever it is now there. Lurking. Do you do lurking? Anyone do lurking? Who's lurking? Are you lurking this morning? Naproxen. No, I can't have that Naproxen. I tried that before and it sent me a little bit mad. I'm like, oh wow. Yeah, it was like going out to raves again, to be honest. Good morning to Weird City Citizen. Good morning to you. Chef Pilot. Morning to Chef Pilot on Vaughan. Is that Twitch, I think? Morning to you, sir. We rarely get anyone watching on Twitch, to be honest. Rarely get anyone watching on Twitch, so good morning to you. Good morning to Alan Carruthers. Morning, Alan. Paul and Lou say, I said hi and the feed went. Oh, yes, the beginning of it. Yeah, we lost the thing right at the beginning there and had to restart again. Without the countdown, I hasten to add. I wouldn't put you through all that again. You only get the countdown once in a day. Thank you. Has he been messing with his equipment again? Yeah, I'm sure I have. Morning to Leah Courtney Sherry. Good morning. In Australia, a lovely lady that I worked with sometime in Hammersmith Belushis. Morning, Leah. Morning to you. Let's just scroll down. Claire says, I am a witch. You know that. She is. Claire is a witch. She disappears at will. Marvellous. I did have a little laugh with Claire last night. Juan. The less meds one takes, the better, as taught to me. Yeah, that's why I don't take pills. I never self-medicate. Very rarely. So I've got itchy ear now. I rarely self-medicate. If I go and see a doctor and he says you must take these pills or you will die, I'll take them. Headache, anything like that though, no, I won't take them. Any sort of pain or anything like that, I won't take them. And I'll tell you, one of the reasons is a lot of people, the moment they get a little bit of pain there, a little headache, a little backache, a little arm ache or something like that, that you would get through in time. Okay, you would get through that in time off your own back. You keep taking them things. Say you then went to a hospital and you needed pain relief. My thoughts are your body is now used to a certain level of pain relief, so it's not going to work as well. So I save that for when I would perhaps really, really need it. And that's why I don't take pills. I think your body gets used to stuff. So I will only take stuff if it's medicated by the doctor there. What's that now? Oh, Christ. Adrian Richardson, did you see the newspapers about the guy CJ from Eggheads? Yes, I did, yes. JP, I bet you were growing tomatoes and potatoes doing the Blitz. No, but you were, JP. I think you know you're older than me. By years, dear. Years. I'd love to grow my own stuff again. And I think I'm going to be able to do it in those big pots that my lovely sister gave me there. So there we are. Happy St. George's Day. My flag is flying today. Yes, indeed. Happy St. George's Day to you. We don't really celebrate that. It was quite funny at the church. St. George's Day should have been, I think, Sunday. But because it was Easter, the Catholic Church decided to bump it. It had to be bumped 2 days down the road. Easter trumps everything. Even Christmas. Easter, the rising of the Lord, the Catholic Church says it trumps everything. So anything that's on that day, should have been on that day, gets bumped somewhere else. And St. George's Day was bumped this year due to Easter. So that's the reason why it is today and not Sunday, I think. Good morning to Leon Corrigan. Morning, Leon. John G. Gogan, is that how you say it? Is in Dublin this morning. Welcome along to the show, Joe. John, do you know, I've never been to Ireland. How stupid is that? Never ever. Oh, Ian Rain has sent me a lovely a picture of a England flag flying there. Thank you, Ian. Ian's the father of a very good friend of mine called Steve, who unfortunately was actually murdered a couple of years ago. A dreadful story. But good morning to you, Ian, and thanks for joining us this morning. Okay. Yes, Dublin. I've not been to Ireland yet. How mad is that? I've been all over the place. Never been to Ireland. It's just a short boat, isn't it? You can even take the car. They drive all the same. I reckon the signs would be roughly the same. I've always kind of considered the UK and Ireland as one people. You know, to me, Irish people are not foreign. Irish people are not foreign. I've always felt that we are all we are just one people, the Irish and the English. Have you felt like that? Do you feel like that as well, as a matter of interest? Michael, I'm becoming a wildlife carer. Here we go. I'm becoming a wildlife career and carer and studying conservation and land management, as I'm very passionate about the Australian wildlife. So that's the Michael who's got this certificate award type thing that he did. So congratulations to you, sir. Leah, with regards to your veg, see if you can get stinkhorn mushrooms. They will make your garden grow. And don't Google them. Oh, are they going to send me high, Leah? Is that all I've got to do is sit here and talk? That's what sends me high, my dear. Thank you. Let's have a look there. Oh, there's a lot of messages. Juan, can you cut down on your messages? I can't keep up with you and everyone else. Just keep it to one every 10 minutes or something, would you, mate? Google cups of water only at room temperature. Russ Philip Vernon, good morning from sunny Yorkshire there as well. Over on the text messages, let's see who's texting in this morning. Very good morning to Maureen. There she is, Maureen. I've got your stuff here, Maureen, that you bought me. Thank you very much for that, darling. Okay, back's much better this morning. And Simon Keane texts in this morning. He says, Mr. Chop Chop, this is true. Right, let's just bring that up there. Mr. Chop Chop, where is it now? a street in Stoke-on-Trent yesterday. Very scary, the BBC News said. Brexit was responsible for the wasps. And he says, you are correct, Mr. Chop Chop. Diane Abbott is a character from the Looney Tunes network. But you're right, they are harsh. They did send her to the guillotine. They would send her to the guillotine. How they could for that, for drinking a can of slightly alcoholic drink on the train. It was just ridiculous. Ridiculous. Poor old Diane Abbott. I mean, let's be honest. She shouldn't be a member of Parliament. She shouldn't be anything to do with government. She's not clever enough. But as a person and as a character, she's brilliant. She's absolutely brilliant. I love her to bits. And for her to be sitting on a train, drinking a can of ever so slightly alcoholic drink, and all of, oh, terrible, Diane Abbott, oh, do us a favour. Leave her alone, for Christ's sake, to enjoy a bit of her life, dear. Simon goes on to say she probably had a sandwich and crisps with the mojito. Is it a mojito? I can't remember what that drink is called. In a meal deal. She was minding her own business. I would have understood if she was jumping on the seat, chanting Rees-Mogg is a bleeper, or who's the cow in number 10. Well, it's funny you should mention that mojito. There's a story this morning in... Oh, it's not come up. Oh, you've noticed you're using an ad blocker. Oh, well, I won't bother with that then. But the M&S stores where she bought this particular drink from are now selling out of it. Everyone's buying this drink because of Diane Abbott. How funny is that? Morning to Adam the plumber, who needs to seriously overhaul his iPhone, as Nana, my notifications don't seem to work. Oh dear. Suggestion, delete Facebook app from your iPhone. Okay, turn off the phone, turn the phone on again, re-download Facebook. Remember, you need your passport. Then go on to me and try another follow and see what happens there. I will try that one, okay? Let's have a good morning to John Aitken, who's back from Bali. It was very hot there, wasn't it? Let's see. A lovely holiday. The jet lag has kicked in. I'm knackered after the 9 p.m, the 14 hours flight. I was in bed at 9 o'clock last night. Very difficult sometimes to change back to your time, isn't it? It really is, especially the one coming from Bali or Australia. That's dreadful, that is. If you're all right going out to Australia for some reason, you get a couple of hours in the afternoon sleep, and then you're okay. But it's when you come back from Australia, I had terrible trouble sleeping then. Very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. My sister at the moment, I'm meeting up with her later this afternoon. I think we're going to the garden centre, maybe a bit of shopping. Or if I can sort my money out, dear. If the money goes in the bank account, I must get onto the boss a bit later on. And she's decorating at the moment, my sister. She's just done the dining room, because they haven't done it for years. I mean, she's the same as me, you see. I can't be bothered to decorate. And, to have someone come in and decorate your house is quite expensive. I'm quite happy with how it is, really. I haven't had any decorating done for some years. And just like my sister, she just doesn't bother doing decorating. But she's doing it at the moment. My mate, on the other hand, he's got to have his house decorated every few years. Oh, just needs a bit of a freshen up. He's always looking for something to do, something to spend money on, my mate. Why are people like that? Oh, what can I get next? What can I get next? He's got to have his house decorated now. Go, just so he's be spending a small fortune on that. And it's not even for the nice colour walls. Grey. Grey walls. I mean, how depressing is that? Grey. Awful. It's even worse than Magnolia. Magnolia's bad, but grey walls, please. Awful. But that's what they like. I mean, what colour are your walls at home? Tell me what colour your walls at home are. Here in the caravan, as you well know, those of you that have been watching the show for a while now, the living room is green. And I mean luminous green. Okay? My bedroom is blue. Once again, that word, luminous blue. The bathroom is white. This room has not been decorated. I put a picture up on the back, and my personal opinion is why bother decorating it if you can't see it? You know, that's what I always intended this little spare room to be a mini studio, so that's what it's become. And all I have to do is change that background. I was going to ask you about the background. As you know, I change the background regularly at the house. Would you like me to do that here as well? On the other hand, when you see that, you know I'm up here. So kind of, you see what I mean? So what colour are your walls there? What colour are your walls? Adrian, Chris on YouTube in my bedroom. You look good on the television in my kitchen, but not so good. I'm shocked about this. Well, you probably bought a cheap blooming television then, haven't you? For your kitchen or your bedroom. Which one are you on? Chris on YouTube in my bedroom TV. Look good on my television again. No, you've obviously got a cheap television. Don't buy cheap, you buy twice. Leah, that's very rude, dear. Leah's just sent me something. How rude. Now, I see someone's talking there about mobile phones there. Thank you very much. I noticed, again, on the BBC Breakfast Business Live this morning, we were talking about the Samsung Galaxy, and I know some of you probably have the Samsung phones. I don't really know much about them or anything, but they were supposed to bring out one with a foldable screen. And this phone is basically like a book, okay? So you open it and there's your phone. I personally, at this point, don't see a use for that. And why it's almost like, to me, they bought it out for the sake of doing it. And literally, it opens like a book. They were showing it to you on the telly. But they've got a problem with it. The screen keeps breaking. And the BBC website says Samsung has postponed the release of its folding smartphone days after several early reviewers said the screens on their devices are broken. The company said it had delayed the launch of the Galaxy Fold to fully evaluate the feedback and run further internal tests. In April, several early reviewers found the display on the Galaxy Fold broke after just a few days. The actual phone, you're talking £1,800 here. That's a lot of money for a phone. I always thought when those iPhones came out, £1,000. I don't think they shifted the numbers of those phones that they thought they were going to. I mean, for Christ's sake, £1,000 for a blooming phone. Of course, it is more than a phone. It's a computer. In your hand, you're holding much more technology than they used to send the first lot of spacemen up to the moon. But nevertheless, it's still just a phone for £1,000. Dearer to buy a phone than a sort of mid-range spec computer, isn't it? It says Samsung, a new launch date will be announced in the coming weeks. In a statement, Samsung said it suspected the damage experienced by some of the reviewers was caused by impact on top and bottom exposed areas of the hinge. It says it also found substances, inside one of the review devices that may have affected its performance. And launch dates that were going to be in Hong Kong and Shanghai this week have also been postponed. They were saying, let me see if it says it here. Oh, yeah, it does. Yes. They were saying on the telly, one of the other things, that in some cases, reviewers, okay, had peeled off a layer of the screen's coating, mistaking it for a disposable screen protector. Now, I'm sure you have bought various electrical items and some non-electrical items, plastic stuff, and everything seems to come now with a layer of plastic on it. You know, like that, what's it called? Like the cling film. Yeah, it's like cling film, and you peel it off. Well, it looks like to me that these Samsung phones have a screen, you know, like that, and there's a little bit of a layer there, and people have been peeling it off. The only thing is, it's not a protective layer; it's part of the blooming screen. So they've been they've been destroying the phones all themselves. But you would do that, wouldn't you? You would try and peel that off. Oh, it doesn't. A little bit, pull it a little bit harder, and then they've broken the screens. It says here. In some cases, reviewers has peeled off a layer of the screen's coating, mistaking it for a disposable screen protector, which you would do. It also goes on to say, we will also enhance the guidance on care and use the display. A lot of you don't, do you? A lot of people don't have breakfast in the morning. Do you have breakfast in the morning? Answer that one. Good morning to Dave Moses. Morning, Dave. Magnolia is his favourite colour. And magnolia isn't horrible. It's just really basic. I mean, my mum, she loved that colour. She had the kitchen done in magnolia. Do you know what? I've just remembered. I think my mum had her kitchen done green once. My dad did the painting, you know, sort of average painting. Dave says, magnolia is my favourite colour. Means I can blend into my walls and hide from people I don't like. Is that what colour you are? Magnolia? Oh, I'd go and see the doctor, Dave. That sounds like liver failure to me. Oh, dear. Is that right? Dave Moses is Magnolia. You could have that as a middle name. Dave Magnolia Moses. Dave Radio Hebron Magnolia Moses. That's a good title, that is. You could put that underneath as you haven't got any OBEs or anything like that yet. I'm still waiting for mine. Did I tell you about my aunt, Auntie Reenie? Yeah, she got something like that. I've CBE or an MBE. She went to collect it the other week. Yes, she's going to the Queen's Garden Party. I have, of course, made myself available. I said, you know, if you wanted anyone to come along, I might be free. Just give us a shout. Oh, wouldn't that be great? Going to the Queen's Garden Party. I might even wear my blue jacket for that. Do you think she'd want to do an interview? The Queen? Would she let me interview her? We could talk about anything she wanted. I wouldn't be horrible. Wouldn't be horrible. I'd be as nice as pie. Or even if she turned up to my house, the Queen, I'd go out and buy a set of Wedgwood or Royal Doulton. Oh, yes. No second-hand stuff for our Queen. She is wonderful. That's so old now. 92, isn't she? 92, the Queen. She's fantastic. Let's have a look. One moment, please. Where are we going there? Adam says, if Ronnie likes, he can spend some money on me. I need a freshen up. Oh, you're not wrong there, Adam. I think you need a lot more than a freshen up. I'm not one for cosmetic surgery, but I think you should think about it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, you might be all right, Adam. I mean, I'm going to apply. Have you seen all these ladies, mainly in America, who have fat injected into their arses to have great big fat arses and breasts? I'm going to volunteer to meet them at the clinic and they can suck out the fat around my waist and have it injected into their bums. There you are. That'll save money on a little bit of silicone, won't it? Excellent idea. Perhaps you'd like to join me as well, Adam. Thank you very much. John says, my lounge is the same colour as yours. 2 shades of blue. I am a deeper shade of blue. And I guess that's why they called it the blues. So many songs with blue in. And of course that wonderful rainbow song. Red and yellow and green and blue. Purple and orange and... Now what's the next one? Don't know the next word. Don't know the next word. I can sing a rainbow, sing a rainbow, sing a rainbow too. Do you want the second verse? Listen to... Oh, okay then. Please yourselves. Adrian has got red and gold ones. My TV in my kitchen wasn't cheap, darling. How very dare you. I'm very offended. We'll learn how to adjust it, dear. I bet you didn't read the instructions, did you? No one reads the instructions. That's what they were saying on the BBC Breakfast this morning as well. When you get a phone these days, and it was Apple that started this. You remember the Nokia phones? Oh, you had to learn how to use them. With the Apple phone, the idea was you turn it on and it's just there. And you intuitively know how to operate it. Same with all the Apple devices. You are going to pay a lot more for Apple stuff, and some of their prices are shockingly expensive. But they give us what we want. We don't want to get a phone out and then have to read a manual, or even worse than what's even worse than reading a manual is look it up on the internet. The help files. How unhelpful are help files? And you want to know what that thing does. You're looking through this menu and the contents and you can't find the bit you're looking for, can you? Huh? Help files are the most annoying things ever because they don't help. They don't. They don't help. I want someone to come and show me how to use this phone. With the Apple stuff, you don't need to do that. Now, I think that's what's happened on the Samsung Galaxy. Okay? People have pulled it out of the box, looked at it, and then intuitively thought, oh, there's a screen protector on here, and then tried to peel it off, unwittingly not knowing that it is the actual screen they are peeling off. And it's all very well, you know, sometimes you open a box and it says, do not do this, or do not remove the bit of string at the bottom. Unless, of course, you're using a tampon. Don't remove that screw. Whatever you do, never ever remove the string from a tampon, ladies, before it's inserted. Very, very dangerous. The whole thing can be sucked straight up and you get terrible infections inside. Watch out for stringless tampons. There should be a warning on tampon packets. Do not use if string removed. Very dangerous. Here we go. Let's have a look here. Where are we? Adam, my front room is yellow. Excellent. A nice dark purple. The kitchen is a light pastel green. And the hallway is a light modern grey. You were doing all right then, Adam, until you said grey. Please, brighten up your house. Even Dave's magnolia is better than your grey. Grey, dear? You don't want grey. No, it's horrible. Weird City Citizen. The extra policeman men. He killed her in the interview. What was that then? What are we talking about there? Is that a Diane Abbott thing? Mike doesn't have breakfast when I'm working. Don't get time. Mike, that's not good. I'll come to this in a minute. Not good, Mike. Paul Adamson, good morning. Watching on the tram into work in sunny Amsterdam. When it's spring again, I'll bring to you tulips. Oh, my tulips have all come up blind this year. That means there's no flowers. The leaves have come up. No tulips. Isn't that disappointing? That keeps happening to my flowers in Berkshire. I wonder if that's because I don't get the sun much there. I think it must be that, because I don't get the sun all day there. Tulips. Blind tulips have come up. I shall plant some outside the caravan this year and wait for them to come up next year, hopefully. I think you're talking to each other there about something, aren't you? Okay. Adam, did you know the Queen has never done a public interview? No, I didn't know that. No, she hasn't, has she? She hasn't. Charlie has. Charlie boy has. And the two boys have, Harry and Wills. Do you think they're not getting on at the moment because of these girl troubles there? I don't know what's going on there, really. John likes the blue jacket. Thank you. You're going to be seeing this all week, I'm afraid, John, because it's the only one I got up here. Leah, here's a question for your UK viewers and for us expats. What's your favourite UK show that you don't get in your home country? So if you're outside, there's one for the outside the UK people at the moment. What is your favourite UK show that you don't get in your home country? That's it, without cable TV. Okay, so on normal telly, I suppose. Mine is QI, but the old Stephen Fry version. Alan Davis is good, but not as smart as Fry. I don't like QI. I'm not a fan of Stephen Fry, believe it or not. I know a lot of people are. He just doesn't float my boat at all, Stephen Fry, I'm afraid. Not my cup of tea. It doesn't mean he's not good, because he is. He's very good, and he's very popular, just not for me, you know. Weird City Citizen has a green house, good. But not as in a glass house, green. His colour is green in his house, thank you very much. Dave, sadly still waiting for my invite to the Queen's Garden. I bet it's very tidy. Well, you're welcome to come round and look at my pots, Dave. How far are you from Lincolnshire? You could come into this purpose-built television studio here in the heart of Lincolnshire if you wanted to, dear. I'll make you a cup of tea, but you won't be getting the Royal Dalton or the what's the other one? You know, Royal Dalton, the other posh tea set. I'm afraid yours will be coming probably in a Sports Direct mug. So if you turn up here, you'll have your tea in the Sports Direct mug. All right. Adrian, the red in my lounge is Imperial Red, I believe it's called. Well, that sounds nice. The red in my hallway at home is Pillowbox Red. Literally that same colour. And I love it. I love bright colours. Boring colours we don't want. Good morning to Roy Brownlow. Welcome along to you a little bit late. You'd hate our house. Paul and Lou has got a grey house. How depressing. I mean, grey, the same colour as cancer, dear. Awful. Awful. Don't want one of those. I got a bit bad news. You remember my solar panel that I'd fixed last year? I've got two types of solar panels on my house. There's the electricity ones, what make electricity, and there's the hot water ones, which hots up the water. Last year, I had the hot water one fixed. And there'd become a blockage in the... It's an old system that they don't actually put up anymore. The system is called Solar Twin. Solar Twin. And there was a blockage in the panel, which the boys managed to get out. And it was working fine. Last couple of days, we had some very hot weather. I tucked the pipes where the thing is. No hot water again. It cost me £500 to get them out last time. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's costing me... It is. I mean, how much would I spend heating water in a year? 50 quid? If that? I've noticed you only have to put on the boiler for about 10 to 15 minutes. And it's really hot after that. That's all you need. Every couple of days. 10 to 15 minutes every couple of days. Probably wouldn't cost me more than £50 or £60 a year in gas. You know. And I had them out last year, and to fix it was 500 quid to get them out. And it stopped working again. I don't know what to do, really. I might just turn the damn thing off and be done with it. We've tried that one now. I mean, I had about 13 years out of it before it went wrong. So that's bad news, isn't it? I've sent them an email with a couple of pictures of my bits and pieces on there to see how that goes. All right. John, I've told you that my bathroom is Kermit the Frog green. Nothing wrong with that, John. That's perfectly all right, John. That sounds very, very nice. Kermit the Frog green. Right. So who skips their breakfast in the morning? Story here in this morning's Super Soaraway Sun. Now, you may remember a couple of weeks ago, there was something about those people that had breakfast. If you didn't, that was it. There's always been this rumour that if you don't have breakfast, you're less likely to lose weight. Well, of course, they've done this study and discovered that people who don't have breakfast, yes, indeed, lose a bit more weight than those that do. But you should have it, because in the Super Soaraway Sun this morning, those who regularly skip breakfast are at risk of heart disease, dear. Up by 87%. 87%! A shock new study has found. University of Iowa researchers looked at 18 years of data on 6,500 people over the age of 40. Oh, that's me. Oh, don't. You know those surveys, okay? Little surveys. You fill out the survey, and at the end it says male or female. Male. Unless you're in Islington, where you'll have transgender as well, or gender neutral. Oh, the list goes on and on. Every week another person, another type of person appears on this alien. I usually tick aliens, a male or female. And then there's those boxes. Age. Up to 18. 18 to 25. 26 to 35. And it goes on. The last survey I filled out, I'm on the last box. I'm on the last box. 55 plus. And there's no more after that. 55 plus. Oh, I was so upset about that the other day. I wasn't going to send it off. I thought, well, I'm not going to send this off now. I was on the last box. Anyway, back to this. University of Iowa. Now, I've read that bit. The group were given regular surveys and asked, how often do you eat breakfast? Most of the group would eat breakfast every day. Now, I am someone who eats breakfast every day. I certainly cannot function, if you include tea in breakfast, I cannot function until I've had a strong cup of tea in the morning. Seriously. If my mate stays either at my house, which is rare, or if he's been to the caravan once, he'll be coming up here again soon, to the caravan. I've got a nice big settee, so he's comfortable on that. If he stays, he knows. Don't talk to me before I've had my cup of tea or before I instigate a conversation. Really, you don't want to talk to me before a cup of tea in the morning. And I also have breakfast. Every morning, without fail, I have breakfast, which usually consists of overnight oats, bit of porridge, fat-free yogurt and blueberries in a jar, put in the night before or a few nights before, mixed up, and then that's what I have. Sometimes I'll have something else. Maybe corn, bacon and eggs and baked beans, something like that, might do. But usually that's the other breakfast. So every morning I have breakfast. Most of the group, it says, would eat breakfast every day. 5.1% never had breakfast. 10.9% rarely did. And 25% would skip breakfast several days. Boffins were able to identify a clear link between people's breakfast habits and the risk of heart disease, it says in The Sun this morning. People who... Oh, by the way, sometimes... I had a private message the other day. Why do you keep mentioning the newspapers that you're reading the stories out of? Because you're supposed to. You can use stories from newspapers as long as you credit the newspaper. Okay? So that's why you might hear me do a story a couple of times. I might say, in The Sun this morning, or in the Mirror this morning, or in the Mail. That's why. Because you're allowed to read the stories from the newspaper as long as you credit them, you see. That's why. It says people who skipped breakfast were 87% more likely to develop heart woes. The authors of the study said breakfast is believed to be an important meal of the day, whereas there's been increasing prevalence of skipping breakfast over the past 50 years in the United States, with as many as 23.8% of young people skipping breakfast every day. Now, I don't know if you've never been to the United States, okay? You can't beat going to Denny's for breakfast. They've got them all over the States, some more places than others. And depending on where you are in the country, you can have a queue waiting to go into Denny's for breakfasts. When I was in Vegas with my nephew last year, there was only one we found in Vegas, and we couldn't get in there. It was just so busy, queues out the door. And the reason, they do a damn good quality breakfast for not much money at all. You can have like these stacks of, you're at home. You might have a pancake. Oh, you wouldn't have it for breakfast, would you? You wouldn't have pancakes for breakfast, okay? But even on pancake day, you might do 2 or 3 pancakes. You might do 2 or 3, and that's it. Well, they have these stacks of, no wonder they're so overweight. They've got these stacks of pancakes like this, and you cover them with maybe butter or maple syrup or both. Oh my God, they are delicious. Blueberry pancakes they do in there. They can do the full, they call it an American breakfast. It's basically an English breakfast. Sausages and bacon and beans and eggs all on there. If you go to America for a holiday, please go to Denny's for breakfast. And it's really like, it's old school. It's like old school. It's a bit like, remember Happy Days? It's a bit like Happy Days in it. I love Denny's. But my God, would you put the weight on if you went in there every morning? It says also in The Sun, however, studies on the health effects of skipping breakfast are sparse. Although this one is coming out with that. But they pointed out this is the first study to look at breakfast habits and cardiovascular mortality. They noted, however, that those who don't eat breakfast may be more inclined to snack unhealthily throughout the day. Now, I don't really snack. I used to do it a lot. Oh my God, a lot. I'd have breakfast and I'd go swimming and I'd have a bag of crisps or a pasty on the way home. Then I'd have lunch. Then I might have something before I go to bed, a bit of ice cream or something like that. I do now tend to have 3 meals a day. I don't really eat in between. Very rare that I eat in between meals. So I've had my breakfast. The next meal will probably be lunch. And then I'll have dinner. That's it. I do have those 3 meals. But I'll be honest with you, I'm just having just as much difficulty keeping the weight off with those 3 meals as I used to when I'd had all these snacks in between. Funny, isn't it, really? I wonder if your body changes. If I start to eat the snacks again, would I put on even more weight, or would it just be going up slowly as it is now? I don't know. It says, while eating in the morning may help balance blood sugar levels, and of course very important if you're diabetic, and control blood pressure. The findings were published in the American College of Cardiology. So there we are. So another thing, and we've seen this before actually, people telling you to you know why I've lost the plot there? Because I've just read a private message. I mustn't do that while I'm doing a show. Let me close that down. Apologies to you. I try and give you all my concentration when I'm telling the stories. And I've just read a private message and it's completely thrown me and I forgot what I'm talking. Breakfast, yeah. Very important to eat breakfast in the morning. Always, always do that. Take the time, okay? All right, some more of your messages there. Blimey, they're pouring in this morning, aren't they? Where are we now? Are you talking to each other? I think Adrian had breakfast this morning. That doesn't help me with the weight loss, I know. It's hard to tell that I need to lose weight. No, it's Chris back and... he's always offended, Adrian. Adrian, are you sure you're not a millennial, dear? I mean, you look a bit old to be a millennial, but you come across as one because you're constantly being offended. You know, if I was offended, I'd just turn off, so go away. Turn it off, dear. Turn it off. It depends what you have for breakfast, Adrian. You should have breakfast in the morning, Adrian. Absolutely, I think you should have breakfast in the morning. Okay, it just depends what you have. You can have a cooked breakfast every morning. Do you know what the Slimmers World breakfast is? Do you know what that is? Let me tell you what it is, shall I? It's lean bacon, it's lean sausages, it's mushrooms, baked beans, tomatoes, eggs, in a frying pan with spray light or fry light, I can't remember what it's called now, no oil, no butter, no lard, just a bit of spray oil. You cook that in the pan, do your beans, and you have that for breakfast. You won't be hungry until lunchtime. How many of you actually snack between meals? Do you do that much? Just have a bag of crisps or just have a pasty. Well, a couple of hours before lunch, I'll have a pasty now. Do many of you do that? I used to do it all the time. Vegan sausage rolls, I'm a bit addicted to those at the moment. Oh, I love them. From Greggs. They can't sell enough of them, can they? They're flying out the door. There's something quite strange, actually, about queuing up in Greggs. And you've got these big butch builders, similar bodies to myself, of course. Big butch builders and lads, lads in tracksuits. And they're standing in the queue. And you can hear what they're like. Oh, I'll have a vegan sausage roll, please. And I'm thinking, oh, I didn't expect you to ask for that. You know what I mean? But they're flying. They're going out to all sorts of people. Not just the eco-warriors, dear. Eco-warriors and myself. I love the vegan sausage rolls. Now, years ago, when I used to eat dead animals covered in pastry, otherwise known as sausage rolls, I have to say I really enjoyed the Greggs sausage rolls. And the vegan ones taste almost identical. There's perhaps something different about the texture, but apart from... And it's very slight. Apart from that, I really like them. Greggs vegan sausage rolls. Now, they are Quorn sausage rolls, and I've said this before. You can buy packs of, I think, 3 or 4 Quorn sausage rolls, certainly in Waitrose, in the chiller cabinet. But they don't taste the same as the Greggs ones, so they obviously do something else to them. Their pastry... Oh, God. You can die for that pastry, can't you? But probably not good for the weight, the pastry bit. If you want to save on weight, then you've got to pick the pastry off. But that's the best part of it, isn't it? The pastry. Oh, Greggs sausage roll. Vegan sausage rolls, we love them. Juan, avoid all coffee from 2 p.m. Or, that's deadly too. Is it really? Tea's got more caffeine than coffee. I'm a tea drinker. My aunt is a tea drinker as well, Auntie Brenda. She loves a cup of tea. Morning to Peter Lake. Good morning to you. Have I got lipstick on today? No. Someone said that last week. I don't know why my lips look a bit red here for some reason. And no, I haven't been kissing anyone, unfortunately. No one's made an offer today, or yesterday, or last week, or last month, or last year, come to that. Well, it's been a long time since I stuck my tongue in someone else's mouth. Oh well, never mind. With what? Water and... Oh, God, Roy. Warm water with lemon is the best thing in the morning. Can't have clean toilet if you don't flush it. Oh, I thought you were still going to drink it then. Lemon and water in the morning. No, thank you, Roy. I'll stick to my tea, thank you very much. Yes. Morning to Dr. SOS Gregorian. Good morning to you, sir. Leah, we did Denny's in Vegas. I couldn't get in there. Omelettes as well. Thank you. Omelettes. They're so good and so big you couldn't even finish it. Or you should have asked for a box, Leah. You should have asked for a box for your omelettes. Well, congratulations getting in there. As a matter of interest, what time did you get there, Leah? Because me and my nephew, I think we got there about sort of 10, 11 o'clock sort of time. We couldn't get in. The queue was out the door. It really was. Peter had a nice day yesterday with his mum, Bernie, of course. Went to the garden centre. I think that's where we're going today. Annick. I bought some lavender plants. Annick. Oh, I don't like Annick. You know what? I got done twice there by the speed camera. Twice. Same camera. I mean, how stupid can I be? Twice with the same camera. Adrian. You should try the Waldorf in New York. Sunday breakfast buffet, outstanding. Or some of those hotels have wonderful breakfasts. They really do. I've never seen anything like it before, and afterwards, outstanding. I must admit, great environment as the Waldorf Hotel, New York. So that's one to try breakfast at. Of course, next week, I think it's on Thursday, it's my mate's birthday next week, and he took me out for afternoon tea this year for my birthday to the Mandarin Oriental, and I'm taking him out to Claridge's. I'm so excited by that one. That really is, I mean, the top of the tree. Once you've been to Claridge's, that's it. There isn't a better one you can go to. And myself and my mate, not so much now because, of course, I'm up at the caravan most of the time during the week. But certainly the last 2 or 3 years, we've been going out for afternoon teas. Not every week, but, now and again, to all sorts of different places, mainly around London, some in London. And we have a lovely time, really. We do have a lovely time, and it's very relaxing, and you just sit there and you take in, depending where you are, certainly the Mandarin Oriental, that's my favourite. The opulence there, and the beauty, and the fuss, and the caring, and the professionalism, and the friendliness of these people that are serving you for just a couple of hours, for which you pay a small fortune. Not massive amounts, but certainly more than you'd spend getting a couple of sandwiches from the local BP garage. And we love it. We absolutely love it. Sitting there in comfortable chairs and the surroundings and the beautiful pictures on the wall and everything. We love it. And this is like the culmination of a few years of going to afternoon teas. Claridge's Hotel. Wow. So we're going there next Thursday. I'm not sure, as it's his birthday, he won't want to drive. He'll have I said, well, you can have a glass of champagne. He said, can I have 2? And this is the thing with my mate. You've got to be very careful. You give him an inch and he takes it. See, I said, do you want a glass of champagne? Or can I have 2? And he's always like that. He wants something more. Always something more. You're going to be very, very careful whatever you offer him. No. No. Would you like? Perhaps I'd say, if I said to him, do you want to go to France for a holiday, or can we go first class? Is it always want something more than that? That's the thing, you see. But really, really looking forward to that. I would like, if possible, to take some pictures and video in there. I'm very coy about doing. I'm a bit careful with the camera when there are other people around. People having their afternoon tea, they don't want to be filmed by you or anyone else. And, I mean, I'm not filming them, but when you've kind of got the camera and you're trying to get a picture and there's a table there, they might think that you're filming them. And I don't want them to feel uncomfortable because I've got a camera. My mate don't care. The camera's out, mate, and that's it. Ooh, like that. I'm a little bit more conservative with the camera. So really, really looking forward to that. Let's have a look there. John Aiken put on half a stone from the breakfast buffet at the hotel. So many lovely things to choose from. Oh yeah, absolutely, John. They really are. All these hotels that have the breakfast included. It was like that with the hotel in Cyprus I was at. The what was it called now? The hotel, but it was I can't remember. But they were known as having the best breakfast, and it was a lovely breakfast there. You certainly didn't go hungry. Really nice. And I think I remember telling you, when my niece, because my niece is living in Cyprus at the moment, her and her husband, her husband's working there at the moment, so she's out there at the moment. But I stayed in a hotel, which was about 20, I suppose, drive from where my niece, and she would come every morning. So I think on the last day but one, I said, well, bring Ben along, your husband, and have breakfast for me in the morning. So I said, right. And I checked the night before if that would be all right. I said, how do I pay? She said, that's okay. Just come in the morning when they get here and you can pay at the front desk anyway. So that was it. So I've come down the stairs. My niece is there and I've gone in. And it's so friendly in this hotel. Pekinos Hotel? Pekinos. It might be. It's in Limassol in Cyprus. And on this particular day, there was my niece and her husband. They came in. I went straight to the front desk. I said, hello. I said, I did check last night. This is my niece and her husband. I'd like them to have breakfast with me, if possible, at all this morning. And I've come to pay. and he looked at her and he looked at him and said, these two are your family? I said, that's right. He said, please go through on the house. That is what you call customer service. It's customer service, that is. I will absolutely, possibly want to stay there again. You know, nice little hotel, quiet, small, friendly, lovely hotel. And it had just been painted and all that business. So really, really nice that was. We do like a breakfast in the morning. Adam says, here's a quick question for everybody. What's the most interesting place you have been? I say this the other day as I often drove past Cynthia Payne's house. And oh, I love the film. The film, what, you know, when she was running the prostitute's house, that one was hilarious. He drove past Cynthia Payne's house, and the builders are now converting it into flats. She died in 2015. I went and spoke to the builders, and they allowed me to walk around the house. It was absolutely fascinating. Oh wow, that's one for the books, isn't it? To be able to do that. Adrian has porridge with milk with linseed seeds, brown wholemeal granary seeded bread, low fat spread, and a tangerine. Thank you for the compliment, saying that I'm like a millennial. I feel much younger now before I go to the gym. Oh dear. Juan has 5 small meals a day and portion sizes, most of all balanced to with variety of fruits, vegetables, and only 2 of the most 3 servings of eggs per 7 days of the week. Cholesterol is a silent killer. That one may be the reason to have quadruple or worse bypass surgery. Oh God, heaven forbid anyone should fall prey. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Cholesterol is very dodgy. You've got to keep an eye on that. Leah, I'm a tuna and crackers girl for snacks. Oh no, not fish for me, Leah. No fish for me, darling. And I haven't put any weight in 4 years, you lucky thing. I looked at a bag of crisps 3 years ago and put on a stone. Terrible. Terrible. Terrible, terrible. Adrian, in your sausage roll vegan from Greg's, do they use palm oil? Because Paramore is really bad. It's like turbocharged heart attack gear. I have no idea. Perhaps you want to look that up, Adrian. See if you can find that on the Google. Go and have a look on the Google and let us know. I don't know what they use in it. Just corn, I suppose. Corn, I'm sure it is. Leah's 36 and a tuna and crackers. Oh, sorry, I've read that, haven't I? She got there at 8 o'clock to Denny's. That's probably why you got in. You got there nice and early. See, we didn't get there till about 10, 11 o'clock, me and my nephew. But we had a lovely time in Vegas. Saw some fantastic shows there. There are videos of that. If you type in United Kingdom Talk Vegas, you might find it there on the YouTube there. Omelettes, anyone from Jackson's Hole? Or Jackson Hole, is that a place, is it? Jackson Hole? It's not rudeness you're putting there, is it? Try the Wolseley in the West End for afternoon tea. That sounds nice as well, John. Roy Brownlow goes to Costa. Get good conversation, drama and sunshine. Had their iPhone stolen in there yesterday. Better than EastEnders. Roy. Sounds like it as well. I'm not a fan of the Costa tea. I don't like their tea. It's got a bit of a taste to it. I'm not keen on that one. Chris, have you got any tattoos? No, not a single one. Really weird city citizen. And I haven't really got the body anymore to have. I think to have tattoos, you've got to have a bit of a solid body or reasonably body or be young. Mine is a bit floppy now. I've now got moobs again since I put on the weight. They're hanging a bit there. as people like to tell me. What can you do? What can you do? Thank you, John. Personal Services. What an excellent film. It's Dolly with Willie. Excellent film, that. Personal Services. Do watch it if you get a chance. All right. And Adrian, finally there we are. Adrian, try the Landsborough Hotel opposite the BBC. Cracking for afternoon tea. They've got a blend of tea which is like black gunpowder with vanilla tea, which is just to die for. Such a brilliant flavour. Well balanced. That sounds nice. The Wolseley Hotel, which Adrian says is outstanding as well. We'll try that one as well. I'll keep an eye on that then. Thank you very much for that. Oh, my sister's there. There's my sister sending me private. I mustn't read private messages. Oh, I've just got a message from the boss. I've been paid. So I'll check that while you're there. Just check that while you're there. Just a minute. Very important to check this while you're there, because I didn't get paid at the weekend. One moment, please. Let's have a look. Stand by. Ah, it's in. It's there. Thank you. Let's see if I've got any extra for having to wait. One moment. All about what? Oh, that looks all right, I suppose. Well, I've been paid. I've been paid. Thank you very much. All in. Lovely jubbly. Right. Let's do today's birthdays, boys and girls. It's birthday time here on United Kingdom Talk. Happy birthday today on this Tuesday, the 23rd of April 2019, to Anthony Morgan. Good morning, Anthony. Happy birthday to you. To James Watts. Happy birthday to James. Paul Schofield today, 51 years old. Good morning, Paul. Happy birthday to you. Paul Schofield. Just a minute. You didn't go to school with me, did you, Paul? Because I no, who was in my class? Lynn Schofield. Let me see where you are. Are you in London? Oh, no, you didn't. No, Thomas. Oh, you went to St. Thomas in Peckham. No, that's not you. Sorry, Paul. I thought you were someone else for a moment there. So, happy birthday to Paul Schofield today. Slightly younger than me. Was that 51 today? Good morning. I say slightly. That's 5 years younger than me. 5 years. Mertz. Happy birthday. 22 years old today. Fraser Renton, who I worked with many, many times when I was in the Black Cap. And at, of course, Harpo's in Earls Court. Happy birthday to you, Fraser. Hope you're doing very well there. Chris Houghton is 45 years old today. Rob Tyler. Good morning, Rob, from Roehampton, 53 today. Sam Lapton, a young 29 today. Katarina, love that name. Katarina Kikotova. Happy birthday to you. And Stuart James Tiberius Franco. It's his birthday as well today. So, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Enjoy your birthdays. Finally, have I got any piercings? No. No tattoos and no piercings, I'm afraid, Peter. I haven't got anything like that done to me at all, no. Weird City on the subject of personal services. Great film. Also like Rita Sue and Bob 2, set in Bradford. Very funny. Chris, you will like it. What Rita is also is Rita 2. Rita Sue. Oh, I'll have a look for that one as well then. And Leah's going to bed now. Off to watch my Kitchen Rules. We'll tune in again tomorrow night. Miss your face. I wish I missed my own face. Anyway, off to the garden centre shortly, boys and girls. Have a lovely day, boys and girls. Thanks ever so much for joining us on the show today. And I'll see you again very soon. Enjoy your Tuesday. Cheerio now.